Hello, folks. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. This is Maria Abreu from Abreu and Associates. The topic we want to talk about today has to do with banking. This is a very popular topic with many people. Okay, what do you need for banking? We're going to get into that right now. First of all, I have to say that most people who apply for residency under the fast track, one of the requirements is to have a bank account with a Dominican bank. So the service that we offer, application for residency through the fast track, includes setting up a bank account. So a member of our office is always going to accompany the client, you, to set up a bank account. Okay? Very important. Now, what is the paperwork that you're going to require? First of all, you're not required to be a resident. I have to get that out of the way. What you're required is to not be in the country in irregular terms. So if you entered in with either a resident visa to apply for residency, which is the case of most of our clients, they get the visa, which is first in the process, and then they come to the country within 60 days to start the second part of the process. Or if you come in as a tourist, you can apply to set up a bank account. Now, tourists are allowed to be in the country for 30 days. So if within those 30 days you set up a bank account, you're good to go. The minute that you go over the 30 days, you won't be allowed because you're in the country in irregular terms, okay? So, important thing is for you to have a regular status, either a tourist or coming in with a residency visa or being a resident, of course. Now, the paperwork required is a social security card for Americans, a state ID, okay, bank statements from the bank back home. Now, a copy of your passport, okay, or of your cedula, Dominican cedula, if you have it, if you are already a resident. Now, one thing has to be said. Different banks have different policies when it comes to paperwork, okay? There are banks that will require a reference letter from your bank back home. The banks that we normally deal with do not, okay? So with that, the state ID, another thing is a source of income. They don't normally require it because if you have bank statements from your bank back home, that's enough. But if you own a company, if you're retired, they usually want, something, usually whatever they want, we have it in our file, folks, because if we have a file for residency, we're going to have all that stuff in there, all that they require. So we just provide it. But just so that in case you're not in a residency process, they're going to want your source of income, whether it's a privately owned business, whether you're employed back home, whether you're a pensioner, they want that information, okay? And it should be translated. Bank statements from your bank back home, social security, ID, passport. Now, as I said, post-pandemic, this process would take 7 to 10 days. And now in a day, you can get it done. Okay, so it's become easier. All right. For those who are, you're not required to have a minimum balance, to apply for residency, but to open the account, depending on the bank, you will need anywhere from 15 to 50 US dollars if you're opening up a peso account. And if you're opening up a dollar account, which is usually a savings account, it depends on the bank, anywhere from 200 to 500 US dollars to open the account. Okay, so that all depends. And then for internet banking, the bank either provides it on the spot or they'll send you an email, okay, or have you contact them in order to set up the internet banking. All right. Banks right now are doing finances. Now, to finance for a person who is not a resident, they will usually want the documents, same documents required as to set up a bank account, and the credit score of a company back home, okay? Like TransUnion, I think, what is it? Experian, is it called? So they're your credit score, okay? So the credit score back home for those who are not residents will figure prominently here. Again, it depends from bank to bank. When it comes to financing to foreigners, the rate is usually 60 to 7% of the cost of the investment or the property. So you'll have to come up with either 30 to 40%, okay? That is usually the rate. And the rates, depend upon the bank. They could vary anywhere from 12 to 60% interest rate. So yeah, it's something to consider. All right. Here again, those of you interested in banking, we will be happy to provide information. Although if you're a client applying for residency, that's already included in the cost of residency. We will be walking you through this anyway. But if you're only interested in setting up bank accounts, then you can contact us. We will either provide a detailed email of information, or if you like, we can assist you in whatever process you have in mind. Okay? I hope this was helpful. Until next time, take care.